What's up? So, what? I'm at the beach. Here you go. And I had the volume. I was not planning on making this video, but I had someone reach out to me with a question, and the question was, "How do I know I'm healing?" Right? And what a great question. So I just wanted to pause before I get into my day and record a response for that person and for you, if you're not that person watching. So, how do I know I'm healing? Now, this is very important to define what healing is in this case, right? Because healing is so many things to so many people. What we're talking about here is when somebody engages in an activity in the subconscious realm to create change, to release something, to overcome something, to move past something, to let go of a limiting belief, to work with generational work, or they receive some level of energy work, like that realm of self-reflection and self-acceptance, right? Even in things like yoga, and so some physical activities or Tai Chi, right, where the energy is the focus or a focus. How do I know I'm changing? I think that's a great question, so this is why I'm giving a kind of general response. And the answer is really simple, right? So the simplest of answers is you will know that it has been effective when you see your environment change. Now, how that happens is also really simple when you understand about different frequencies and the movement of energy and what's happening at the subconscious realm, right? As you release the things that you're asking to release, or it's time to release, the movement of energy changes. And because the movement of energy changes within your being and around you without you realizing, then your environment starts to change. Really simple, right? You can think of it from a law of attraction standpoint of becoming a magnet, or you can just think of it so many different ways. So your environment begins to change. This tells you you're healing. Now, change is not always, doesn't always feel very good, does it? Right? Like that relationship you were in now has changed, and you're not in one anymore, and maybe that wasn't your choice. That doesn't feel very good for some. So change isn't always something that feels good, but the environment alters. Now, if you have an environment that has changed for the unresourceful and it continues or gets darker and darker, perhaps you haven't changed yet, or perhaps the cycle to release is very long. I don't know, right? There would be cues for you, but the environment changes, which means you have made a shift in your perception of reality, in your environment. And literally it can happen in just a moment, right? I've had some times where I've done work on myself, and within seconds, huge shifts have occurred that would blow your mind, right? And then I've had ones that have taken time, but it always changes as I do the work, and I'm successful in the work. So to answer the question, how do I heal? How do I know I'm healing? How do I heal? Whole other conversation. How do I know I've healed, right? How do I know it's working? Your environment has changed. Now, why this question is important equally is because in this, and I'm going to call it an industry of self-actualization or whatever. I don't know what to call that, right? Just waking up, remembering. In the industry of self-help, I'll say, and mental health, people do work on themselves, and it feels like it goes away. But sure enough, it comes back. And it's frustrating. I could only imagine. I've had it happen too. And we've taught so many of our courses, we talk about it, and we talk about why, and we talk about what to do about it, and all of that. But I can imagine the frustration, right? So just check into your environment. If the same thing is coming up again, your environment hasn't changed, has it? Or maybe the actual environment details have shifted, but if you were to tell the moral, it'd be the exact same moral, right? Same thing. So how do I know I'm healing? Now, there are definite indicators in the process of doing the work that can tell you the energy has shifted, like when you witness just a deep breath or a movement come over. But that's a whole nother conversation I'd love to have, but just not right now. So to bring it to a close, right? How do I know I've healed? How do I know I'm healing? Check into your environment. Have a non-judgmental point of view of your environment, as it's just information. And if something has moved internally it will present as movement externally. So besides that, I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope the sound was good, and I'll talk to you. See ya.